I was I was just trying to come up with some doggone idea for a story, and so I just kind of put my brain into reverse and went back in time a bit to this is interesting, I think, to the days of my college experience. Yes. I went to college for a little bit, year and a half, something like that, back in the 60s. And that was when there was an awful lot of hippies around, and I was definitely one of them. And I liked it. I'd, grow my hair long and do all the things hippies do. And, and I can't kick. It was okay. But all of a sudden, one day, I was in this bar having a beer, and this guy walks in. He looked like Moses, like you would picture Moses. Yeah, he had long white hair. It went down well below his shoulder blades, almost to his rear end. Yeah, he had a white robe, like you'd wear if you were walking in the desert. He had a walking stick. He had a little pouch for money, and like I said, a little bit of a nose, glasses, and all in all, not too bad a guy. He came down, he sat next to me, and he had money. No, I said, you need any money or anything? You want a beer? He says, no, I got money. I work along the way. So he said, I always got, 50 to 100 on me. I run a little low, and I stop somewhere and offer to do some jobs for people, do a little chore here and there, mow their lawn or what have you, and they pay me a bit and I move on. Sometimes give me a meal. So sometimes it says if it's just a woman in the house, I can do better than most. With a little wink of his eye. I says, you stay there a week or so, huh? Yep, and then I move on. And but he was nice old fella. At times I remember just thinking how cool it would have been to have done that. But then in truth, we all do that, don't we? We go from one thing to another pretty much in life. Yeah, or one day's a little different than the next, so I guess it's not much different. This fellow, by the way, I found out later, got to talking to him. So have you always been, like your Moses? He says, nope. He says I worked I worked in New York City at the stock exchange. I said, you did? You were a stockbroker? He says, well, not dressed like this, but he says, yeah. He said, just one day I got kind of sick of it. He said, I have all the money I need. I got plenty in the bank. And I just thought I'd mosey for the what's left of my life. I had more than enough money. My wife my wife left me years long before I ever got like this. And kids are all doing okay in school. I just decided I'd be a drifter. Here I am. I said, gosh, you moving on to the next town? He said, yeah, I'm going to go see what it's like in Parkersburg, West Virginia. I said, oh, they're going to love you there. He said, well, yeah, most people do. If nothing else, they get worried about me too much, ask if maybe I could go work in the mines, or could I go be a corn picker or some such thing. I usually get hired. I'm a good worker. And he says, I like talking with people, hearing their stories, telling mine. There you are. I said, well, darn, you really, in a way, you've got a pretty good life going for you, and you do have money. If you need it, you got it in the bank. Yeah, he said I could, but a lot of times I just like to earn it, find an odd job to do, and earn a little more and move on. If I really run out, I do got some I can call on, but for the most part, I'm just one foot in front of the other. Wow, that's I said, actually, I guess that's how we all are, aren't we? Just one foot in front of the other. Keep our eyes open and get up early and do what we can. He said, yep, that's about it. I said, well, doggone it. Pleasure to meet you. And I felt kind of like I was looking in the mirror. In a way. In a way. Yeah. I just thought I'd say, have you ever run into such people? Oh, they're cool. Don't turn your nose up at them. Talk to them. You'll have a ball. I mean, if they're staggering around and looking kind of like they want to rob a bank, you might want to stay away from them. But the ones that are kind of walking with a vengeance, nice cape, a nice cane, and a bit of a knapsack on them, they're usually going to be okay. And there you are. And just start up a conversation right there on the sidewalk. You'd be amazed. You'd be amazed. Anyway, I thought I'd say, ooh, on kids, don't try this at home. Right. Okay. Grown-ups. Okay. Grown-ups, college kids, you ought to consider, but yeah. Okay, I'll see you later. Ta-ta. Bye now.